was closer.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the channel. This is Jason the Nice One, and welcome. I have my great friend, Larry, and the horror cat dad with me, and we're here to watch John Carpenter's The Fog, one of my personal favorites. And how are you doing tonight?
Good. Yeah, this is one of my favorites too, for sure.
Oh, yes.
Definitely underrated.
Oh, yes, definitely. And welcome to the chat.
Thanks, Don.
Don, that's great. I'm glad you're here, and it's one of my. I'm going to have a lot of fun working with John Carpenter next couple of months, and this is our first one.
So nice.
We're excited. So we're going to be I'm trying to get done. We're going to be going through Escape from New York as well, and Big Trouble in Little China, and also I'm trying to remember them all. In and Out of Madness, and
you said The Thing also, right?
The Thing, yeah, thank you. That was the other one. The Thing, and I'm doing great tonight, my mind. Village of the Damned. This was picked by on survey and one of the top directors. I'm doing that. I'll also be focusing on other ones during the year. The second place was Steven Spielberg, and the other one was James Wan. So I'm going to try to go on that. And I realized some James Wan I haven't seen. I've never seen *Malignant*, so I'm probably going to include that one. I can't believe I've never seen that movie.
I need to watch that one too.
So I'm going to include that. But nobody picked George Lucas. I wonder why. He's got some good ones I might do, but yeah, that'll do later.
I guess nobody likes Red Tails or something.
Oh, yeah. That whole thing, so... I hope everybody in the chat. Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, sorry to interrupt. Speaking of James Wan, are you gonna watch what is it, Death Sentence by chance?
Woo! You put that down because I've been trying to look for some. That's another one I haven't seen. Okay.
That one's really good. That one's a really good movie.
No, so we're not going to watch the proper. Everybody's doing that. I'm doing a deep dive, but I'm looking forward to seeing. Maybe we might do it at the time the fourth one comes out. No, yeah, if it does, what the heck? We might wait. I don't know what they're going to do with it. I hope to. I know Be It For Me Again, they're going to come back. So. I think they might mesh some characters together. It might be good. It's because they said it'll probably be the last one with them. So, James Bond. What was the other one? Death Sentence?
Yeah, Death Sentence. That one's got Kevin Bacon.
Oh, that's right.
Hey, Jerry, how's it going, man? Thanks for stopping by. Hey,
Jerry. Thanks for stopping by. Welcome to the chat. It's an honor. Great to have you here. And also, don't forget those that are watching an instant replay. Hope you're going to enjoy it with us. And you can find in the description section where you can find the places to watch outside. They used to be on some free stuff and all this down. It's weird what happened to it.
Yeah, just out of nowhere, it's like not free anymore. I guess just after the holidays, they're like, nope, the Fog is not going to be free anymore.
It's like, thanks a lot, guys. So it's Amazon, iTunes, Vudu, or YouTube. Or if you have a physical copy, I have physical copies too, as well. And thank you, Jerry. I appreciate that. If you could select the like button, that would be appreciated as well. So, the comment section afterwards, that really helps too. I found out not just the like button because it helps. That's how those spread it out and all that. But also the second one, I didn't realize I did this. I started noticing, why am I? Even though I don't have a lot of, sometimes I don't have a lot of likes, I'm still appearing at a place with that. It's also views. And I found that, so I'm thinking, okay, if I noticed a lot of my live stream past last year were like 300 or 400. So I'm starting to appear in other people's streams that I haven't even subscribed to. So that helps that a lot. And then I did my 2 videos now. I'm starting to appear in other people's top videos. I have a bunch of those. I just want to work on those because I've done things with Movie Bros React. I haven't made videos out of them. Nobody knows us. I'm going to work on those this year and do more videos. They're fun, short, and okay, so Death Sentence, that's great. And then also, if you have seen The Fog, no spoilers. And in the chat. And also, we'll give you a few minutes to get set up how you want to get set up, and then we'll start. And don't forget your. I'm doing great tonight. Thank goodness I don't have to go to work till 1 tomorrow. Closed captions.
It was a long week.
Oh my gosh, this last cold I don't know, it's been going everywhere all over the country. It hit me last December, and I thought it started as cold and got over that after a couple of weeks. Still got this cough. It's driving me crazy. I was bringing it to Stephen about it. Good grief. But I had this haze. I didn't know. I couldn't explain. I'd never had it before. I was like, this is weird. And I tested for COVID. Nope, negative. Bronchitis. Nope. So I couldn't figure it. And I finally, when I went to my doctor, he's trying to eliminate. He says, when did the cold start? Where did it start? It started as a head cold. He said, this virus is going around mimics the brain fog of COVID. I've never experienced that. I don't ever want to do that again. I thought I was going to die. Oh, wow. That was horrible. I couldn't. I realized that's why I would say, okay, that makes sense. That finally went away. I thought, oh my gosh. So my birthday, I was just like, nothing, worth nothing. So Christmas and New Year's were fine, but that was weird. So, welcome to the chat. The general's in the house.
Hey, Val. How's it going?
Really good. I hope you're doing well. And this was also, I was telling backstage about Larry, I loved Halloween, but this was the first John Carpenter movie that actually scared me to death. I was in junior high. It was so funny. We were walking down the hallways, and everybody snuck in to the theaters. You could do that, especially in El Paso. You could sneak in. Nobody cared. That's how I saw Friday the 13th. My mother could have killed me. She's like, why are you watching the horror movies? And my dad's like, leave the kid alone. Because she was so worried because he wanted to watch Carrie. He said, let's show you Carrie. It was the edited version on TV, but they still showed the hand.
Yeah, the hand at the end.
Crying and screaming. So Dad stayed with me until I slept, got sleeping. And the next day I was like, God didn't even care. And said, no, the kid's fine. He's not even affected by it. So, we kept sharing that and all that. And my mother loved the Scream movies. She only lived through 4. That was her last one, but she kept solving them before me. I'm like, Mom, be quiet. She I knew who it was. I'm like, oh yeah, right, Mom, and all that. And then my parents loved what was the one I watched this with my cousin? I always Queen of the Damned. My mom likes vampire movies. That's weird. She's that was. She kept saying, yeah, that was Townsend, whatever. He was quite sexy. And my dad and I look at her like, okay.
I have a sort of similar story. I mean, I never knew my mom was into horror movies, and it's not until like maybe my 30s, and we're talking 10 years ago, did I find out that one of my mom's favorite movies is The Exorcist, the original Exorcist, and The Fog. So I had already liked The Fog. And so they were doing like a 4K screening at one of the theaters, like it was a 4K restoration of the film. And, that was something, and they were showing it around her birthday. So I surprised her with the tickets to go see it. And yeah, I was like, Mom, you like horror movies? But then again, like it kind of makes sense that she did, because when I was little, she would let me watch like the Universal Monsters, and she pretty much let me watch whatever I wanted to watch, minus like if it was too graphic. But I mean, I saw RoboCop at a young age. Saw, at my cousin's house, I'd watch all the Nightmare Jason movies. I'd watch all that stuff. So I
was a freshman in college when that one came out, so I could get away with it. And oh my gosh, and it was so funny. She introduced me. She loved, as a kid, the original Frankenstein. She was born in 28, so she's 39. Scared her to death. She's everybody. I also said, yeah, this is creepy. I said, no soundtrack, nothing. It was like, this is eerie, But I wanted to find a copy, and I found a VHS copy. It's a director's cut. I'm like, okay, didn't think anything of it. And so we watched it. All of a sudden, it came to the famous scene where they're tossing the little girl, tossing the little flowers and all that. All of a sudden, and I was like, wait a minute, I don't remember seeing this part. And I'm like, and it was at the end where they ran out of flowers, and he's like, well, she's pretty, so he tossed a little girl in there. To come to find out, when they did that, when they aired it, whatever, the censors cut that part because it was too graphic for audiences. I thought, wow. And that's what they put back in the director's cut.
Nice.
Well, that's interesting. Well, a lot of the censors didn't realize they did that. And she introduced me to her favorite was Lon Chaney Jr. in The Wolfman. I felt so sorry for him. He was such a good actor. Oh my gosh. I said, man, that was so amazing. So we started doing that, and she loved Creature from the Black Lagoon and Dracula.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, for me, I started watching, or actually, I started off with the Orange books. I tell everybody the story. I started with the Orange books in elementary school. They had like books of the films, so like that's where I got my first Universal Monster stuff, because they had like Dracula, Frankenstein, Wolfman, Creature from the Black Lagoon. So I would rent these from the library, go home, and I'd be like so into them. My mom's like, "We know these are movies, right?" And I'm like, "Really?" And then she started showing me the movies, and that's kind of, I mean, I was mostly like a Star Wars kid, and I liked action movies and all that stuff. But I always had that. That's where I would say my horror roots kind of were getting planted back then.
Oh wow, yeah, I did. I saw when Disney came out the first with Watcher in the Woods, which was creepy. It was Betty Davis and all that. She was in those the one the Return from Witch Mountain. They started using her, and then they used her. I saw her. My favorite I did for Halloween last year was Burnt Offer, and she was so creepy in that. And which I didn't realize that was the inspiration for The Shining. Stephen King, that was his inspiration for it. It was also the house that was used in. I'm doing great tonight. Oh my gosh. I don't think the one we did, what's his name? Oh my heavens. It's one of my favorite movies too. With the tall man. Oh my gosh.
Oh, Phantasm.
Phantasm was the same house, the exterior. Oh, that's interesting. So, and then what's the other one that she introduced me to Psycho. And I already knew about the shower, but I realized from her eyes how shocking that was in 1960. And but she said you have to realize back then too when I watched it. I don't know if you've seen Anthony Hopkins and Hitchcock. It's about the making, and I had realizing what that man went through, and how loyal his wife was. She's the one that came with the idea. I said kill her off in the first 45 minutes, drag it out, drag it out. But then when I watched it, I said we think we're all way about Scream 7, all this crap going on. But I realized that Paramount back then, I'm the guy that was in charge. He wanted more North by Northwest. I want more and more. We don't want a cycle. And he finally said, screw you or whatever. I mortgaged his house and did it on his own. And then later, when it was a success, Paramount fired that exec. I just said, do you want to learn from your past and fire a certain one? It's causing problems. Yeah. And but then the censors, which I was so stupid back in 1960, you think the whole showers and all that would. No, they were offended. They think people are going to be offended if you show a flushing toilet. That's a key part of the story. And so he said, no, that's why he distributed themselves. Screw you, and was successful at it. I thought that's so interesting what he based that on in the story. I'm like, I never realized when this local theater over here, there used to be a live theater, and he restored the 75mm screens and showed classic movies. And first part of Halloween, he showed a restored print of that Psycho on the big screen. So that's why we just went in and started watching. I thought it was exciting to see all that. I realized every other kid in there had no clue what this movie was about. They'd never seen it or whatever. And that shower scene came up, and it was like The Ring. All the girls were freaking out. And then my one son, I could have killed him. He's like, he's killing Jamie Lee Curtis's mother. And they're like, I'm like, shut up, you Nimrod. What the hell's the matter with you? And the boy, all the guys were like, and then when they showed the body and all that, they talk about him dressing up as their mom. I was like, this is so much fun. They're like, ew. And I know in 1960 how gross, but then this series went on. I'm like, I love that. It's the most underrated series. Anthony Perkins took that and all of them ran with those sequels, and they were amazing.
Yeah, by part 3, he was just like,
Like,
I mean, he was on it, man.
and part 4, that was so interesting. I didn't realize he did it with CCH Pounder. Oh my gosh! And he's was going to kill his wife. He was giving up, and that was so brilliant before he died. And it's like, oh man. Now that we know everybody in the chat, how's everybody doing? If you want to share with us, we're going to talk about this for a little bit about John Carpenter. So you can share in the chat what some of your favorite films of his are, or what his influence was on you. And the first one we wanted to talk a bit about, like you first, whatever. What really was his influence? We were first talking about as a content creator. His influenced you that way in any way, or?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, it's just his movie. It's weird because like I remember the first movie I saw of his was Escape from New York, and that kind of it was very visceral to me at the time when I saw it, because I saw it at a young age.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just one of those movies that I was like, man, I mean, I had dreams about that movie where it was just like, not necessarily about that movie, but like Pliskin and, just in different scenes of like, and it was
Mm-hmm.
very surreal in the dreams that I had. So it definitely, that movie, for one, the whole dystopian and everything. And that's why I think later on in life, like now I love like Blade Runner and movies that are like
Mm-hmm.
that, like
Oh
very
yes.
like dark and dystopian like. I think that was probably because I mean, I remember seeing Blade Runner back then, but I was a Star
Mm-hmm.
Wars kid. So for me, I,
Yeah.
I didn't really get into it, but I did get into Escape from New York. And it's funny because now I'm more of, I love, The Thing is probably my favorite John Carpenter film, aside from The Fog and Big Trouble. I mean, those are my top 3 John Carpenter films. I love Halloween '78, but I think I go back more to The Thing, The Fog,
Mm-hmm.
and Big Trouble in Little China. It's just
Yeah.
those 3 always, just from the music to the story. I mean, they're
Oh,
so different.
definitely.
I mean, it's just, they're incredible. And as a content creator, I would say that's why, like, on my videos, the music that I play in the background, it's very,
Mm-hmm.
it's, I mean, it's like very Carpenter esque.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I don't know, I just like that element. I like adding that element. Before, I would just put like a little bit of an intro music, and then it would be like dead silence, and then like an
Mm-hmm.
outro music. But now I put it all the way
Oh.
through, so like when there is dead air, you can kind of get that, hey,
Mm-hmm.
there's something going on, but it's something that'll kind of give you that sort of like vibe of Carpenter,
Yes.
and yeah, I mean, that I would have to say that's probably how as a content
Mm-hmm.
creator, it definitely makes me think about a lot of things when I do my videos.
Mm-hmm. That does for me too. I get that, and I also get influenced by John Williams and that as well. Those two, because of the Star Wars and all the Steven Spielberg, John Carpenter. He was just there's that simple piano to the dun dun dun. It creeped me out. I was like that. It keeps haunting me. And the music
Mhm.
in this one too was
Oh yeah,
oh my gosh, yeah. Just and I love the music in Big Trouble in Little China. It's just so much fun, and I think that's probably in my top 3 as well. And just real quick, I just wanted to say hello, welcome, Spicy 4K Action. I'm glad to have you here. Welcome, as
hey
well as
Spicy.
also as Juan. Doing great.
Hey Juan, man.
Juan, glad to have you. We're just still talking a little bit about John Carpenter and all that. If you'd like to share some of your thoughts about that, and then also in the description, we'll show you where you can get the a video. Ranter said he wanted to see the watch. We're watching The Fog tonight, and here's Don says his hot day Escape from New York, and then The Thing, Big Trouble, In the Mouth of Madness, and Halloween. Yep, we're going to show all those movies. So that's awesome. And yeah, I know Val. I think Val's still here. I know she lives In the Mouth of Madness as well. And
That's
I've
one
also
I that's one I went back to see this last summer again, because I hadn't seen it in forever, and
yeah.
it has a lot of elements of The Thing in it, like the
Mm-hmm.
creature at the end and everything. Like, I
Oh
was surprised,
yeah,
like, wow, this is very, it has a lot of that
yeah.
definitely that influence.
His
Yeah,
Lovecraft in his movie. Yeah, he was so weird. So he did a lot of that. Then Sam Neill. Oh my gosh, that performance
yeah, it was
is
great.
so blew me away in that movie. And oh my gosh. And Yeah, he actually wrote the novel. Yeah, that's what it was based on, and that's one of my first horror novels I read when I was young, and yeah, I was so excited when John Carpenter got a hold of it. I said, he'll do, and he did. He ran with it. Loved his touch to me.
And
Ran with it.
I have to give props to John Carpenter's Vampires. I love that movie. I
Oh
mean,
yes.
like that one gets a lot of grief, but man, that is I don't care, man. I love that movie. It's
Oh
great.
yeah. And I love the Dracula 2000. Oh my gosh, that's another one that John Carpenter. Yeah, yeah, he was so brilliant. That's John Carpenter. Yeah, that's one of my favorites too. And he's amazing. For me as a content creator, that's where his influence was. And next, we want to talk a little bit was I'll probably start with that one. I think his influence on cinema was just you can see it all over. You can also and different genres too. Like this was horror, but like you said, the Thing was science fiction, and
Hmm.
for its time, the body horror was absolutely that. It just blew me away. Nowadays, it's like you try to do a remake of the CGI, and I'm like,
Yeah.
it was all. It's like this was just so shocking. Especially that ending. Oh my gosh, it blew me away. And then he also and then the Escape from New York, the apocalyptic doomsday
Yep.
movies. Oh my gosh, that one wasn't. And the Big Trouble in China was the fantasy, the martial arts, and what was the other one he did? Yeah, I haven't. That's the one I haven't seen. But I was sold on Precinct. That's another one I would want to watch down the road.
But that
Another
one's
one.
like it's been a while since I've seen that one. But that one's more of like a exploitation, like
Mm-hmm.
revenge type of.
Yeah.
It's just like cops fending
Mm-hmm.
off. So yeah, it's been a while since I've seen that one, but that one's really good too,
Oh,
from what I
definitely.
remember. And then he did Starman as
Oh,
well.
that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
He did that. Trying to think. They Live can't go wrong with
Oh,
They
yeah.
Live. Also, that's another
Mm-hmm.
classic. I think that one is yeah, Roddy Piper, man, he's great. He's great in that.
Oh my gosh. And he's talking about. Oh, and I found one a gem that he did. Oh, what is it called? The body part. I kind of it's with
Body Bags.
the body bags. Oh my gosh! If you guys haven't seen that, it's hysterical. He's in the wraparound, and also Wes Craven does this cameo,
Hmm.
and
Sam Raimi.
Sam Raimi. Oh yeah, it's awesome. And he did that. I loved it. That was one of those he just had fun with. And
Looks like Dunn needs to rethink his list.
list. Oh yeah. And
How can
welcome,
you,
Jason Entertainment. Wonderful. I'm glad to see you here. It's
Don?
awesome.
I have to say, Don, how can you forget They Live?
Yeah. We're also, Village of the Damned. I'm fighting for that one because people think that's the most underrated. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I said,
Christopher
I thought,
Reeves is great.
yeah, that's the last time before he had his accident.
Yep.
I think maybe they might have, because at the time, I know with Cheers and all that, Christy Alley was having a bad rep. She was really getting creamed on, but all that. But she was great in that movie too. It just was bone chilling
Yeah.
and all that the way it was. So that's kind of one we're also going to watch too. And yeah, oh my gosh, it's so funny.
The one I will never defend though is Ghost of Mars.
I've never seen that one.
You're not missing
Okay.
much.
Okay. I know he did a few that.
And I'll forgive Escape from LA to a
Yeah, I've
point.
never seen that one either. No, I haven't seen
I mean,
sequels. Then.
you're not really missing much with that one, but it's in my opinion it's better than Ghost of Mars.
Yeah.
I will say
Well,
this. I don't know. Fun fact. I don't know if you knew this, but Ghost from Mars was actually supposed to be originally was a Pliskin like a third movie.
oh.
It was supposed to be, and then Escape from LA did bad in the theater, so Carpenter like reworked it
Oh,
to something else.
oh my gosh. Yeah. All the rumors that are going around, and it doesn't surprise me. It's a rumor. I'm sure it's just a rumor, but it wouldn't surprise me if they were smart. I never thought this would be kind of an interesting play, or whatever. But there's rumors going around that the Paramount has actually approached Carpenter about Scream 7 or a Scream movie. And I thought
Really?
that would be interesting. That'd be an interesting take, but I don't know because Kevin has one of his. I might be if Kevin it's one of his idols and they collaborated, but that's interesting. There's so much going on with that.
That's an interesting take, Don. It's like saying it feels like yeah, except awful. Yeah, it's an interesting way to look at it. That's pretty. I didn't think about it like that. That's pretty good.
That's interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of different things. There's so much he wrote and he produced and all that. And,
Not just that. I mean, just even the music. Like, I mean, if it's, I mean, look at all the like the dark synth wave now and everything, like all the retro stuff. Everybody's going back to that Carpenter aesthetic.
Welcome, American Turkey Burger. Glad to see you. Yeah,
Hey,
this one. Yeah, the hitchhiker scene. A lot of the stuff in this movie is just. And I was going to go real quick before I forget. Yeah, I've got a list of something just to give a history of the film. It was released in 1980. It was February 8th. It was filmed in the Gulf of the, I don't know if it's Furloughs, but the lighthouse was at Point Reyes, California. It was the estimated budget was at $1 million, so that's not much. But the opening weekend was $39 million. It grossed in the U.S. and Canada $21 million, and again another 21 worldwide. So I mean it was amazing. It was his follow up, and Jamie Lee Curtis was in top form, and Tom Atkins. They had great chemistry. You'll see if you haven't seen this, you're in for a treat. The chemistry. But yeah, he did Halloween and then The Fog, Escape from New York, Halloween 2. That was basically up to that point. And also Adrienne Barbeau, who happened to be married to John Carpenter at the time when they did this film. She's Stevie Wayne. She's a narrator. She's brilliant in this movie. Absolutely. And Jamie Lee Curtis plays Elizabeth Soley, and Janet. This is also the first time that Janet Leigh and her mom and her appeared on screen together. Didn't have any dialogue. They did in H2O. She was a secretary, and so they had more. That was the only two they actually shared the screen on, the two great screen queens. And then also had Nick Castle, Tom Atkins as Nick Castle, which I found an interesting. He named him that. I thought that's interesting. But then also Hal Holbrook as Father Malone. Oh my gosh. And then John Houseman begins it. He's in a lot of those 80s horror films. And I hope to do one. He, at the same time that the Changeling came out, it's John Houseman, Fred Astaire, and Mel Douglas was in The Changeling, and Douglas Fairbanks Jr. And it was called Ghost Story.
I need to watch that.
I'm not Peter Straub. I want to go and do that because it's so terrifying. It's so incredible, and what they did with that. But I know you'll notice. I'll talk about when we get to that. I don't want to spoil it, but there's a scene I'll show you. That's one of the many goofs. Usually, John Carpenter was really touch on his. There's some goofs in there, but one is my favorite. When it gets there, I'll share it. It's so funny because usually he's quite good about that. All that, but if anybody, let me know also in the chat when you've got everything ready to start. Let us know as well. And also, if it's your first time, let us know. If it's your first time watching this, just let me need to see this, and we'll get this ready, get this going. It's only not less than 2 hours, so
yeah,
I'm excited. I'm a little excited to see this, and it's been a long time. And also, this was the first time he decided to. I'll show it to you. His idea. Well, let's see. Maybe go a little. Kind of going, you got to please the fans, and when you see it, you're gonna go, "What? This is good." But yeah, it was for the time. They go, "Ooh, John Carpenter." Yeah, it's so funny. I said, "Yes, you haven't watched The Thing, people. This is tame, but yeah, it's funny. It's all get out." And, oh my gosh, this whole atmosphere, everything was just 1 second. I got a new mic and my mute's over here, so I can hit this before I get to go over here, so it makes it so easy. Right there. It turns red, so I have control. All right. I'll get mine set up. That's something I have to start it with iTunes. When I start counting down, I have to hit play because it takes a little bit to oh, crazy. Drives me crazy. I'll look at that. I'll make sure I've got all my. I also can't split my screen with. I got my sticky notes up. It drives me crazy. I want to get a MacBook. It's driving me
That's good.
crazy. And I realized too, this sounds too bad. I've been using Microsoft, the Microsoft's web browser. I also have Chrome, and that's what was causing when I couldn't watch Peacock on my laptop. Wasn't compatible with it. Like, it says it is, but when I put it on Firefox, it works fine. I'm like, and Firefox drives me crazy. I can't do StreamYard on Firefox. It drives me crazy.
Yeah,
that's so weird.
I love Firefox, but it's like a resource. It's a resource hog for sure.
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
you can do a lot of things on Firefox, but at the same time, there's a lot of stuff you can't do, which kind of stinks.
Kind of like, oh yeah. And I also was gonna let me know on a tip I didn't realize, because I've been fighting it for what I hate. I don't know if anybody else has, but I've really never. I'm not sure. You can test it to see if it was, but I tried to look on Tubi, and the only thing I couldn't find it afterwards. You see if you can. Great, let us know if you can find it on there. There's one I was going to tell someone. He's not here, but I know a lot of content users use this. It's called L or something. I've never heard of it till late. But one night I said, let me just look into it. And I was just offline and watching something, and they were doing a trailer for Barbie. I thought, I just watched the trailer, and I get a text from my ISP, which is Comcast. And they said, someone's pirating movies on your ISP. And I went, it's only me and my husband. Nobody else uses that. So I start searching on Google. I found out, I said, L is a pirating website. It's fake. It's all that. And if you have money involved or whatever, if you download or whatever, you can actually be charged with piracy. For most people, it's the first time you won't go to prison, but they'll charge you $5,000. So I said, stay away from that, guys. It's not legit.
Dang.
Oh, but YouTube, I found out I was so tired of the ads and all that. And so I thought, and I mixed it up with, that's not the same as YouTube television. So I looked at it and I went, $13 a month? That's not bad. So I decided I did a 3-month trial. And come to find out, not only does it get rid of the ads, if there's any free with ads on YouTube, it cuts the ads off. And there's this huge library of free movies that you can't just normally, if you're not a subscriber, won't give it to you. There's so much crap. I watch movies. I go, I don't even have to buy them. That's worth $13 a month. I just watch them for free. There's tons of them. I was like really shocked. So I said, that's not a bad investment. I was trying to stream down, money wise. I found if you do AMC Plus on its own, you also get Shudder, and the BBC.
Wow.
That's a nice little combination, cheap, streamed down and all that. So that's kind of nice. And some of the ways you can say, I couldn't believe. Oh my gosh, it's the ending. I stopped. I have links for and you can tell it says YouTube. It's legit. And there was 45 films, and I haven't even started. I keep finding them this is on. Okay. So that's a great.
Yeah, I've been thinking about doing but I don't know if it's the same, the YouTube Premium.
Yeah, that's the same. It's 13. Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, that's not worth the money. You can get streaming. Oh my gosh, that's great for the money and all that. Because all these other streams, I don't watch Shudder a lot, but I can get it here. But AMC Plus, BBC, and what's the other one? But Patrick does it. Is it ISP or that channel? Films. It's in English. That's really great. And wait a minute, Patrick.
he was great in this one.
Yeah. I hate that movie. But John Carpenter co-wrote it and produced it. Deborah Hill did. So.
Well, he got the check. I mean, if you watch a lot of Carpenter, even when I was in a panel hearing him speak, he said I put my hand out, they wrote me a check,
Yeah.
And then I put it in my pocket, and here we are.
Yeah.
Like I'm like,
That's
can't
what
get
he did.
any.
That's what he did
Straight
with
up.
Hills and Ends. You got a paycheck, whatever. You
Yep.
know, it's oh my gosh. One day I'll share whatever my theory about what they should have could have done with Halloween Ends. Oh my gosh, it would have been so much better. I couldn't understand why they even thought about the original ending where they pan closer to the mask at the end, and it was the factory from Halloween 3. And I realized, and I was researching, I thought, oh, he said one of his researchers went, if you watch, there's a bar scene in Halloween 3, and in that universe, Michael Myers is a character, and you have Halloween 1 and 2. It says, oh, so we can't do that. He's not alive, he's a fictional character, so we can't do that. So scrap that. One day we'll talk about it. I can maybe share with you backstage afterwards and a little bit with them. I think it would have worked, and Steven likes it. I thought it would have been better, but that's really neat. Oh, I love the Smoky Mountains. I've been there since I was a kid. Ooh, oh, I'm jealous.
Nice.
It's in the middle of winter. Oh my gosh, you're brave. I've been back there during the. See now, I love Patrick. He's so random. I'm like, he's introducing me to stuff that I didn't even realize. And I'm gonna have to look something up. Because I probably know her and I'm just an idiot. And my dear, I'm going to say is if Patrick, you want to join the panel, let me know and you can come on. What the hey? The more the merrier. I've got nine places, so what the hey? Let me know. And but yeah, that's so funny. And what was the other one? There was a lot of stuff that oh my gosh, I know he's talking about the kind of maybe continuing some of the anthology that he was going to do after Halloween 3, and that'll be fun to see if they do that. The only thing I want him to do with that Halloween is please, and I think it was the director of Halloween 4 should do, is come back and fix what you did to Jamie Lloyd. That drives me insane. People say, no, that was Halloween Ends was the worst. I'm like, no. They could have done something different, but I'm like, no. You take that, and I have to be careful because I'm on YouTube. But I said, I love it was last Donald Pleasant's Lance. I love what's in his Tommy. And I'm like, you take Michael Myers, my favorite character, and you turn him into I can't even say it. It's horrible. Like, you did that to my character. You did a remake of Nightmare on Elm Street to him. And I'm like, how dare you people? Thank you. Thank you. Let me know. I'll put that down. So if you might be interested, let me know. If you like, we can do that. I'll put that down in the notes real quick that we can do on a Friday.
Patrick, they're napping somewhere. One of them's napping on my wife right now, and the other one's napping in the cat tree outside the man cave.
That's great. We can do that. That'd be fun. So if you wanted to join, or let me know. That'll be next Friday. I'll probably do it at the same time. So let me put that on my notes. So
yeah, I'll let you know. I'll definitely I'll look at my calendar.
We can put that in there, so I know that's in there. And so put that in. No, don't do that to me. I hate no. I gotta get me at least on my payday, at least iPhone 11 or something. Away from 7. The battery drives me crazy. I remember that. I'm getting a phone that has at least not 3 gigabytes. I'm going nuts. So I don't have the apps that I want. I don't know if I want to put this up because I want to strangle you. It's okay. Everybody has a right to. I'm going to ignore that.
Selma Blair was good in she was good in Hellboy. I'll give her that.
Well, I could say she was equal.
I don't know.
I don't know. She's great, but I'm like, oh, come
Nah.
on. Adrienne Barbeau, come on, the goddess. She's married to
Yeah,
John
I don't know.
Carpenter.
I don't know. I don't know about it. I don't know compared to Adrienne Barbeau. I don't know about that, but she's a good actress, and I liked her in
Yeah.
Hellboy, and there's some other stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Patrick. I liked her in Hellboy. She was good in Hellboy.
Yeah. That was
She
the
was great
original
in
one,
that.
wasn't it?
Hmm?
Was it the original one with
Ron Perlman.
Ron Perlman? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, she was in both. She was in Hellboy 1 and 2.
Sorry about that, guys. We'll get started here in a minute. Let me make sure I got that date there. 1 minute.
I wish they would have just done a part 3.
Yeah.
Hey, Rob, how's it going, man? Thanks for stopping by.
Yes. Thank you so much, Rob. Appreciate that. If you want to stay with and watch us, the availability for it is in the description section. Just waiting for everybody to get ready. We can start. Okay, whatever. Okay, it was 8. Yes, 10 o'clock. That means it's 11 o'clock. Guys are late hours. There we go. And I got that saved, so don't forget those. Okay, there we go. All right. We'll get this set up. Got the notes done. Okay. I'm gonna get that ring so I don't have to deal with that now. Yeah, I think there was. I don't remember him being a bad guy until here. Yeah, I can't remember. That's true. Let's check this real quick here. With my separate mic, I don't have to worry about that bleeding over into the stream anymore. Okay. All right, let me skip this screen here. Can't wait. I found on sale. I work at a thrift store and they have a bunch of mugs came in. We're all selling 15. I go, get me another one so I don't have to split my screen from my laptop. Okay. I'm ready to go. So let me know if everybody when you're ready to go, and we'll start here real quick. And then I'll. Oh, that's right. He didn't do Capricorn one. What about that? All righty. Well, we're going to get started. I'm going to show a video real quick, and after the countdown from 5, we'll go ahead and hit play. All righty. Here we go. Hey, play. I'm at Avco. I'm at 25. Oh, that music.
Yeah, I love the score for this film.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome.
Edgar Allan Poe.
I feel like nobody. I mean, I feel like people don't really talk about the score for this one too much.
Mm-hmm. They don't. Ooh, that makes me jump every time. He's such a good actor.
And I just this whole movie just gives me that ghost story, like it's like an old fashioned ghost story vibe, you know.
Definitely. Yeah, iTunes is 4K, and that picture looks brand new.
Then we get that well, we're not there yet, but
Mhm.
I like the little cameo we get when they get to the church.
Oh yeah, it's my favorite. He's a him, Spielberg, Hitchcock. A lot of them did that.
It's like even in the original like Gremlins, like if you look
Oh,
closely, you see
that's right.
Spielberg.
Oh yeah, and also what's his name? Is it Landis? Whatever appears. He's the guy on the bike. The producer. I just watched Gremlins 2, and I was like, that is so dang funny.
Yeah, I did a watch party with Don for Gremlins too. That one was really good. That was funny.
Tony Randall. Oh, about died. First of April. I love this. The cinematography too. Oh, that fire. No. What that was interesting was it's called Antonio Bay. That was also in The Birds was called that thing. Yeah. That's another underrated Hitchcock. People said, I didn't like it. It didn't tell us why the bird started. I said, that's the point. That's why it's terrifying.
Yeah, I mean it's like it's not like movies nowadays where they have to like they force feed you when they don't have to, you know.
Yeah, that's why I love The Happening, but the end it made me mad. I'm like, you explained it, and it's a stupid explanation. I'm like, plants. I'm like, are you kidding me? That was dumb.
It's like they got lazy at the end. They're
Yeah,
like, what can we make it be? Plants. Okay, write it. Good.
here we go. See if you recognize this cameo, guys. Love it. Yeah, this chapel is so creepy.
Yeah, it's like I don't know for sure. I don't know if it's an actual like if it's just a set or it's a real chapel. I never looked up. Kind of curious. It would be nice to like
Yeah,
check that out.
there's John Carpenter, everybody, if you haven't figured it out. He's about as subtle as an atomic ball.
It doesn't even like want to pay him.
Yeah, I love this right here. Right? Oh, that's right. He told me. Yeah.
It's like, oh, come back tomorrow.
Dean Cundy?
Yeah, Yeah, this one's done by Dean Cundy as well. He did
He
The Fog. Or he did this one, he did The Thing as well.
was he? I'm trying to see the writer. I can't remember.
No, he's a cinematographer.
Cinematographer. That's right.
I'm remembering. Yeah.
This was scared me to death when I was in the theater. These were like just simple, natural jump scares that would happen. It was so well done. I remember seeing him on stage as Mark Twain. He was brilliant just before he died. Oh, that music.
Telling you, like this movie, it's just the score for this is just amazing.
Mm-hmm. Like I loved when John Carpenter and his son collaborated for Halloween 2018. Oh my gosh, that score was so. Especially after he killed their one friend or whatever, that grinding. Like, oh, jeez, Carpenter. So creepy.
Yeah, it's it. Man, I love 2018 so much. It's so good. It's like just to see where it ended up is like a major like it's like a bummer, you know.
I saw that on the big screen. It was great.
Yeah, I did
Everyone,
too.
everyone on the radio, that's Adrienne Barbeau. That's John Carpenter's wife. She's amazing in this movie.
What's interesting is like she never really interacts with the rest of the cast other than like on like when she's talking on the mic at the end. Well, I don't want to. I'm not. You know, never mind. I'm not gonna say too much.
Oh, that's okay. It's amazing. You can see. I've never seen where it's like her and Jamie like almost do a duel of Final Girl. You kind of consider them both. Yeah, in this one.
She's like the final girl on her own. Barbeau is, and then Jamie Lee's like the final girl with their group. You know,
their group, and this was so creepy. Just the atmosphere and the lights, and
that's what I'm saying. This film, it reminds me of an old fashioned ghost story.
Because if you've ever been around, fog is really scary. Because when we used to have, we still like when it rains or something up here in Utah, we have a freshwater lake. But when the fog comes over that, you watch it actually creeps. It's just really, he just took something very natural and made it so creepy. It does really move.
Mm-hmm.
And he knows just when to stop the score at the appropriate moments. I love directors.
Yeah, I mean, he knows when to just like dial it back, but then he also knows when to like use the music too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what makes it better is that it's his movie. He knows what he wants to hear, how he wants to hear it. It's not like do this and then somebody brings it in and then you got what you got. I think that's an integral part of it too. Is him putting that music with it.
For me, I love directors like sit there. They'll do such a great collaboration for them. If he's writing his own music, but if they have a different composer and the cinematographer and the editor, they work close. Some great films. Spielberg does that, and I know she gets a lot of crap, but some of Streisand films are really good because she collaborates with all of her people and really everything's part is really good. She wants everything a certain way, and it works in the films, and can't blame her for that. They want to put out good quality stuff to the audiences.
Yeah, for sure.
James Wan does that. Oh my gosh, the Three Conjuring. I was like, oh my gosh, she's so brilliant. Especially the first two. Well, that's what I hear rumors too, is that James Wan's has a little bit more control for the next Megan. He's kind of coming in to help them. And some ideas and yeah. When electricity goes awry. Yeah, body bags. I love that scene. The first scene. That's so funny. Yeah, John Carpenter loves garages. If you're in garages, and yeah, you don't want to be in garages. In his movie,
Yeah, I know, right?
or grocery stores, or Tom Lee Wallace and Charles Brown. That happened to me once. I was in a Walmart parking lot one time. Like, it was just a subtle rainstorm. All of a sudden, this huge thunder because it was just bone chilling and all cracked. Every car, there was like 1,000 cars in the parking lot. That was like, what am I in a horror movie or something? Is that from what's her name from Halloween?
Nancy Loomis?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
that's what I thought. Okay, I forgot.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, she's in this. Charles Cyphers, he's
Oh,
the weather guy.
oh, that's right.
Yeah,
I love her voice.
there's a lot of people that turn up in a lot of these. I got to meet them recently.
Oh
Well,
wow.
not at this point, not recently. It was like over the summer. I got to meet Cyphers, Nancy Loomis. You know, I finished off the people that I could get signed my fog poster at a local convention, and at Frightmare, I got to meet the man himself,
Oh
John
wow.
Carpenter. That was incredible.
Oh, it's one of my dreams.
And I don't know, whatever people say. I've heard like a bunch of horror stories about him. He was super nice. He was
Yeah.
like super cool, super like just funny. You know, he was joking around and
One of
stuff.
my one of my dreams was too when I met him was Chris Sarandon. Oh my gosh, he was so incredible in it. And I thought this is pirate. As with I mean, Fright Night and Princess Bride. The guy he was so nice, and so I loved him in both films.
Hmm.
And I did too. I enjoyed it was separate. I enjoyed meeting Dermot Mulroney. He's still a very nice guy. I loved his earlier films, and I love this scene. That's right. He was in Halloween 3, wasn't he? Yeah. When you see them together, yeah, her and mom look a lot alike.
Hmm. Yeah, very much so.
Nice.
Have a good night, Juan, man. Thanks for stopping by, man.
Yes, definitely.
Hey, Marty, how's it going?
Welcome. How's it going? Welcome, Marty. I do have the. If you want to join us, I do have the where you can get the copies of the movie if you'd like. Be free to join us. And she based this character on a real life DJ, and I can't think of her name, but
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
yeah, she's so beautiful. Still is.
Oh yeah, she's another one I got to meet at that same one where I met
Oh, that's awesome.
over. I had met her like a few years back.
Hmm.
Actually, no, at this point it was like several years back. I met her at Texas Frightmare, and
Wow.
since my mom loves the fog, I got a poster signed by her.
Oh,
And then when I met her this time, I was like, okay, now I need her to sign something for me, and I got her to sign my fog poster.
yeah, I forgot about him. It's coming up. I'll show you the big, huge goof that I couldn't believe somebody didn't catch. Ooh, that's right. Right here. you'll see in a bit or whatever. You'll see. I don't know if you remember that. It shows the fog on his radar.
Mm-hmm.
That does even today's equipment. You can't see that. That's fake. And it's it surprised me that John didn't, because he was so meticulous. Dude, you can't forget everything, but yeah, this. Oh man. So me when I met the whole original cast in Utah for Scream, that was the greatest experience of my life. Especially Neb, she was so sweet. She wants what she wants, she gets it. She's been so nice to. Remember when she was, they there was something I can't remember. When Brandon was at it or whatever, and I think everybody tells a story where he met her when she was so entranced. I guess they ran into her before his signing with her, and she was so entranced, thought his son was so cute. So when it came when he was having her sign, she stopped. But having her sign, he didn't have the VIP, and they stopped right just before he got there. And she said she stopped and said she saw him and said, let that man pass through, whatever. She made before she left that they got a picture with her before she left.
Nice.
And I thought that was, yeah, she was. I don't usually react that way, but when I saw her, I just started crying. I loved her long before, like with whatchamacallit. Oh, that's right. I forgot about him. He was in Halloween too, wasn't he? I'm trying to remember.
I believe so.
But yeah, he Party of Five and all that, and she was crying because she just didn't think anybody would know that. But then she realized, she said, hold on, 56, and she just turned 50, and she goes, okay, our generation. And Matthew was only about a couple years younger, just about my age. So it's like, yeah.
Well, the crazy thing is, it's like I knew her from The Craft, and then
Yes.
yeah, like I had heard of Party of Five and stuff, and then it started becoming a big thing. But I was one thing, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but there's also she did early work. She was in an episode or two of Kids in the Hall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like way back in the day, and I was like,
I
holy
I
cow!
have to see if I can find places for it, but we could do a watch party. They did a remake. It's a musical remake of the original Reefer Madness, which shows all these what pot can do to us. Excuse me. Sorry, but can do to you. And they remade that.
Potted plants.
Yeah. And this shot right here. See, that's the gory part right there, ladies and gentlemen. It's the height of the gore in this movie. He had to do something for the audience. I'm like, wow, that's really earth shattering. But
it's just enough.
Yeah. But he what was I saying? Oh yeah, that's what were we talking about?
The Reefer Madness.
Reefer Madness. But she appears in there as this big dance number that she's an ice cream soda jerk. But her younger brother, is the lead in the film. And so it's really funny and put the two together. But I forgot she was trained in Canada as a dancer. Yeah. She's quite the dancer.
Wow. I didn't know that. Yeah, I got to meet her also at Frightmare. And I mean, hot take, I'm not a big Scream fan. A buddy of mine is, so I met her to get an autograph for him. And but no, she was really nice, and I was able to take a picture of her. I also got an autograph for my mom too, because my mom loves The Craft. So I got her to sign it. I got her Rachel True to sign that Craft poster. And so yeah, she was really nice. Like I got nothing, and that's the thing too. Like when I tell people that I don't like the Scream franchise, they're like, "Oh, how can they jump on me about it?" I'm just like, "Hey man, it's not for me. I'm glad you like it." You know, it's like I feel like when they started doing these new films, I was like,
Yeah.
I'm happy for the fans. I just hope it's good for the
Yeah.
fans. You know.
Yeah. To me, the fight was okay, but I was kind of worried when they were going with it. But yeah, nothing's like the West films. But yeah,
Mm.
but even there, the fourth one made me mad because I knew Wes was fighting the Weinsteins. He was going crazy. He was ready to shoot him. He was so done with him. That's why I said, well, "You're going to ruin this film. Let me do it." It's like, what the heck are you doing? And yeah, I'm sure he's rolling over in his grave.
Yeah, with how they're treating it, how they're treating the stars and everything.
Well, that, but also how they say he wanted to do other things with it, and they kept interfering. Did the same thing with 3. And he's like, "Can you please leave me alone? Let me do my film." And Harvey was just, he was a jerk. I
Yeah, I've
only met
heard
him.
like aside
I've
from
only
the
him. Yeah,
aside from the stuff that we've heard that he's done, I mean, I've heard other stuff where it's just like he's just a pain to be on set and everything.
I had 2 run-ins with him. Every time I left him, I felt like I need to go home and bathe. Ugh, he was just this creep. It's just a typical producer that just thinks, I'm artistic. No, you're not. You're an idiot. You know, Wes was just, oh yeah. That's why I know what this guy's doing. What the guy with Disney's doing. And, oh my gosh. Should fire him.
And that's reason why, because of producers and all that stuff. Another reason why I'm not into Star Wars as much as I used to be.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought I was going to watch. He did a video, Carbonite, I guess they're doing the next movie. And I was like, okay, we'll see what they do with that. I can't remember. But yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a Ray movie or something.
Oh, jeez. Well, I never even thought, even when George was going to do it before he died and before he left it to Disney, gave it to Disney, I thought that's a bad idea. And just do this. Okay, original prequels, fun. End it. Don't do anymore. It's just bad juju. It's just, you don't need it. But they wanted to do it. And I said, there's no way. I knew the stories. You're not going to support it. There's nothing there. It's over, yeah.
Well, I mean, supposedly he had a treatment for 7, 8, and 9. Oh yeah, the knocking. Where are you at? I'm at where they're knocking at Castle's door.
2357. Yep. He's zipping up and he's going to the door. Yeah. Oh. All these kids in school would bang on your lockers. I'm like, stop it.
I wonder what, like, if you think about it, like, it was really just seconds.
Yeah.
But
he was so effective. And like, don't open the door. Don't open the door. Ah.
And then it's like,
yeah. It's midnight. The fog. Oh. There they go. Follow the rules. Oh, it's so amazing. See, I know he had influence from Hitchcock because he had the same knack for suspense and how to build it.
Even just if you think about it in the Thing, it's like there's so much tension that builds up, so much like and it just gets higher and higher, in that film.
Oh. You guys in the chat, feel free to give us any impressions you're getting so far. Love to hear from you, especially those who haven't seen it before. Yeah, it's amazing. I miss these type of films.
Yeah, like I said, this is an old school, like it's every time I watch it, it's like an old school ghost story film,
I've been working on this thing, what they're doing in theater right now, and people think, why your top genres, you love horror and musicals, and I go, yeah, it's not for the reason why you think. I said, in theater, musicals are so hard because you have to be so many threats, so many different talents. But to me, horror is equal in film because you're dealing with such ugly material, such controversial material, and it takes good actors and good writers to pull it off. That's why to me, horror is one of the hardest genres to do with. And I admire it because of that, because you've got so much to do with, and the directors and writers, and to pull it off right. Because when it's great, it's great. When it's bad, it's ooh, yeah.
But I mean, there's sometimes you can get bad that's fun,
Fun too. Oh yeah, like
you know.
Sleepaway Camp. Come on,
Well, I mean, and it's also like you mentioned,
Body Bags too.
horror being
Yeah.
like a hard genre to do. I mean, just look at some of the greats. Just look at Kane Hodder, what he brought to Jason. Think
Mm-hmm.
of Nick Castle, what he brought to Michael Myers.
Mm-hmm.
It's like all these different guys behind the mask, like what they brought to it. Without having being able to speak.
Plus
You know,
the stunt personnel. Oh my gosh. Yeah. But I know I tell people with theater, I says, yeah, horror. That's one other genre. When they try to do horror musicals, like you got to pick the right one. Most of the time, it has to be the comedy. Like Little Shop of Horrors was making fun of Roger Corman's, which he was making fun of. So that's why it worked. But like I want to go to New York. I'm going to strangle somebody. I said, yeah, Jason the Nice One's going to go. Jason Voorhees on their ass if I can find them. I go, you're wanting to make a musical out of Lost Boys? Who do I need to kill? Are you insane? Nothing about that requires singing. I mean, dude, there's no really deep emotion. No, it doesn't work. What is wrong with you? Either like drama, things like that will work. Like they're doing a musical of Outsiders. Yeah, it's a novel. It works, but not no. Oh, don't ruin one of my favorite films. I'm gonna Beetlejuice work because it was a comedy.
mhm.
Things like that.
Yeah, something like that where you're having fun with it. That's why I said like
Yeah.
there are some horror movies where like they're so bad they're fun.
Oh
It's
yeah.
just like
So what was
like
the one I
most
was just? The Body Bag is another one. It's like, oh, it's so bad, but it's so much fun to watch.
yeah, like you got the one with the hair
Yeah.
where
One
they're
that
like
got me was first one I saw it was what's that channel? It seems horror, but he does the edited ones because it's on YouTube.
mm,
But when I saw the uncut version of that, I'm like, well, thank you. I can't watch Star Wars ever again because I just saw Mark Hamill's butt. I go, thank you for tainting. Yeah, really didn't need to see that. It's like, wow, but that ending of that, oh my gosh, when he pokes his eye out, I'm like, yes. Stupid story, but it's awesome. And so what was the one I just saw the well, it's like uh Puppet Master. All those are kind of they're dumb, but they're fun.
yeah.
They're just fun to watch, and especially I love Katie's reaction. Oh, that was so much fun. Love you, Katie. If you happen to be in here, that was so much fun.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a
So
classic.
you. Like,
I'm telling you though, the third one's good. I really
yeah, I've
I
just got
really
to
dig the
watch
third
them
one.
because it looks so much fun. And there's Janet Leigh, everybody. Marion Crane from Psycho.
And I think they do great. Like they're back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
They have a good dynamic. Her and Nancy Loomis. I think
Yeah, they do.
they have a
Yeah,
good back and forth here. I thought they have good chemistry. That's what I was looking for.
that's a similar car to Michael's, isn't it? Just different color, but I think I don't have to look at them.
And then we got her listening to the. Well, I'm at the part where Stevie Wayne's like listening to the.
She's on the highway.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're pretty much in sync then. Yeah. Just 1 second here.
How's everybody doing in the chat?
Yes. But yeah, when they did a slew of them, Elton John started it with a musical version of Anne Rice's Vampire Lestat. I'm like, Elton, are you kidding me? And then they did Frank Wildhorn, he did a Jekyll and Hyde musical, which actually worked. I don't know if the novel, I'd call it more of a science fiction than horror, but that worked. But then he did a musical version of Dracula, and it was so awful. I'm like, oh, Dracula should never break out into song. Don't ever do that again. Oh,
But I guess he was singing. Was it? Well, they kind of make him break out in song in Queen of the Dam, right? Or well,
yeah,
that's
that kind of,
less
yeah.
that. But
Oh, then they did one. Michael Crawford did some French one, Vampire or something, whatever. I'm like, oh, make it stop, mommy. Throw a penny at it. Yeah, it was the 80s, early 90s. I'm like, and the worst of all, a musical version of Carrie. I'm like, oh, please. But it was
there's
ironic. Ironic Betty Buckley played the mother. Just so weird. But it's like, well, you get into her head. I go, I don't want to get into that crazy woman's head. Please leave me out of it. She had this solo, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I thought she was crazy in the movie. Someone needs to shoot this woman. The other worst one, they made a musical version of American Psycho. That I wanted to slap somebody for. I go, no slasher music. Are you kidding me?
have you ever seen that video of I think it's like Funny or Die of
Yeah.
where Huey Lewis actually plays like he does a parody of
Mm-hmm.
American Psycho? Man, that's a
Oh,
great
yeah.
clip.
Someone said one time, somebody said they interviewed, I'm sure it's a rumor, but Christopher Landon said he thought at one time, well, Freaky could make a good musical. Like, no, it would, but you just can't do it without those stars. Those actors are just too good. They're just so funny together, that chemistry. And don't ruin, I can't imagine. The only thing I didn't like about Beetlejuice was the fact that Michael Keaton was funny and he was kind of naughty. Oh, in this musical version, I stopped counting at 40 F-bombs. I'm like, no, that's too much. That he wasn't like that. The guy was funny, but I'm like, no. The one I loved, because on stage they couldn't do the car crash. I said, this is interesting. How are they going to do this? Because they're just in a house. And out of nowhere, it scared the crap out of me. They're just standing there reading something, and they break through the floor. They just disappear. I'm like, whoa, what just happened? And they had this trap that just made it look like they fell. And I'm like, I'm like, holy crap. Oh, okay, still have a heartbeat. Okay, wow. That was terrifying to watch. Oh my gosh. But it was funny. They did the whole dinner table scene. Oh, that was something. They had all the props. People. It was just so funny.
Nice.
Oh my gosh, on stage. But then, which was ironic, they did it in the same theater that Cats was premiered. I'm like, that's interesting. Sense of irony. But okay, I'm looking forward to the sequel. It looks like it's going to be really good.
I like this back and forth here where they're like
Mhm.
they're on the boat and then they're
Yeah.
showing that the priest is like reading from the diary. I like that kind of like the back and forth that gets sort of like parallel of what's going on. It's almost kind of it almost kind of gives you, and then like I'm not gonna give too much away because there's gonna be like that I guess that jump part of it coming up. But as he's reading it, it's almost like it's building the tension up to
Yes.
something,
Yeah. Oh, their faces too. Look at that. She's in between. She's a legend herself. She was so good. Between those two legends, I'm like, I would be dying as a young actor. I'm like, damn, what an honor to be between those two amazing icons. You funny guy. Oh my gosh.
They just put some chum in the water. So they did.
Yeah. That's one of the big mistakes. It turned out to be really fun. Yeah, I went this last summer. They did a stage version, but it was just the story of the of just play, not a musical, it's a play of just the three guys in the boat. Just it was like a one act. It was like an hour and a
Oh,
half,
okay.
but it was really intense. It was stuff from the novel, Peter Benchley's novel, and it was really fascinating.
Hmm.
You know, some of the conversations that had to be cut for the film, but I didn't realize when I started reading the book. I said you can't do it on film, like they couldn't do it with Cujo either. Was in both those novels, the animals in the book, you could read their thoughts, which added so much more tension, but you can't do that on film. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
But those are pretty interesting additions. And this one, I thought, oh, yeah, I can. By the ending of the remake of this, I'm like, oh, make it stop. Are you kidding me? This is where CGI is not serving the story. It's so awful.
Yeah, I think I saw it like once on television somewhere, and I was just like,
I've only seen parts of it. It wasn't bad what I saw. The story wise, House of Wax, but I kind of like, can't beat Vincent Price.
no, you can't.
And
I
that
mean,
was one. That was in 3D.
even also like House on Haunted Hill with
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, those.
I kind of do
Great.
like the remake a little bit, but
Yeah.
it still doesn't hold a candle to the original, in my opinion.
One I want to do too. Nobody ever. It's a gem that nobody sees. It was one of those campy ones. Was Theater of Blood. And Vincent Price is this. He plays a really bad actor, but he's turned over for his. He did the big season of all his Shakespeare, and the critics gave this young actor the Actor of the Year award, and he got mad. So he starts killing off all of the critics in Shakespearean fashion. It's so much fun to watch him. Him and Diana Rigg plays his daughter. It's a British film, but he's so funny and delicious in that movie. It's like, oh, Vincent Price, and it's pretty gory for its time. It's like he even kills off the one critic is his real wife, and he kills her off in Joan of Arc fashion, which was so funny. It's like you're killing your own wife, man. I put on my video about top 5. That House of Long Shadows is another fun one too. 80s, and him and Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee. That's a fun one too.
Close by me.
I also love the Dracula with Frank Langella. Put Donald Pleasance and Laurence Olivier together. Oh, that was so awesome. Those two giants.
Yeah, I feel like back then, man, it's like they had a lot of good pairings in horror movies.
And that one, and Bram Stoker's, they're both based on a play, same play. And so I said Bela Lugosi actually started. That was started as a play on Broadway. It was a hit. And then they did the Universal film, and I worked with an actor.
Well, originally they wanted Lon Chaney Sr., right, to play Dracula, but then he had passed away.
Yeah. Yeah, some of the other because I worked with an actress that actually she was made her debut as Lucy Seward in the original play opposite Bela Lugosi. It was fun listening to her watch and telling tales about him and his acting style, and yes, he really did snort powdered sugar. I did it right. He said he really did that. He was an amazing actor. It killed me the censors because they still I love this scene. The tension. But they actually had a scene where you saw him being stabbed, but the censors wouldn't let him show it. And that was 31.
Yeah, the other the one movie I wish was still around that I would love to see is London After Midnight.
Yes. I actually used to have I wonder if I still have my VHS copy of that. I have to look in my boxes. Oh, man. Brilliant Carpenter. That's right. She's the mayor, isn't she? That's right.
Yes. No, she's is she the mayor? No, she's a part of the
the committee.
Yeah, the committee. Yeah, she's trying to get the mayor to cancel towards the like later on. She's trying to get him to cancel once all the everything starts kind of going crazy.
I can't get over the way they can restore these movies. This looks like it came out yesterday. Man, the technology's amazing. It's still got the old look to it, but
well, it's like when I got my. I want to say this was back in maybe 2016 when they had re-released like the Universal Monster films on Blu-ray. I got like Dracula, Wolfman, Creature from the Black Lagoon, and they had done the restoration, and I mean it looked literally like it had just been made. It was gorgeous, and then they were showing how a lot of the scenes, at least on the Dracula one, they showed you like a side by side, like the original, what they got I guess to use for the restoration. So they used that, and then they showed the same clip restored like side by side in the bonus features, and I was like, wow, man, you could tell the difference. Like it's like night and day. It's
I had
crazy.
forgotten how long these stairs were. Oy.
Yeah.
Going down, you find me going up. I'm like, it's like, let me just live at the lighthouse.
I wonder how many times like Carpenter made her do that.
Yeah.
That scene. You know.
Oh my gosh.
Like just to think, because like if they were like arguing that day, it's like, okay, well we're gonna do another. Why don't we do another take of this?
Yeah, I did that when I did my. I have to tell you that story when I was an extra in Last Crusade, and Spielberg had to have 3 takes. I'm like, do you really need to have 3 takes? It's 120 degrees out in this Utah desert. Stephen, what's wrong with you? Yeah, we're all dying. And we're about to lose Sean Connery here in this hot tank. I'm like, geez. Don't kill James Bond. Come on. He was so nice to work with. He was so funny. He told the dirtiest jokes. Oh my gosh.
So you met Connery before?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
He was something else. And Harrison Ford. I know. When people talk about that, there's the people actually struggle. And I was like, I'll never forget this true struggle. You got to keep trying. Was when they originally when he auditioned for Magnum PI, he had filmed and 15 other pilots, and they all failed. You talk about not giving up. Then he got it. Right after he got it, the writer's strike happened. How ironic. And that's when Spielberg offered him. I can't believe they offered him Indiana Jones before Harrison Ford. I can't imagine. He's Magnum PI, but his integrity. He says, if this, I promise these guys, if the writer's strike ends, what am I going to do? So he turned it down. So he sat there for 6 months in Hawaii doing landscaping with his grandfather, watching them film Raiders of the Lost Ark. And of course, then they came, and you got Magnum PI, but a big hit for Harrison Ford. And so he laughs. So Harrison, he keeps telling me I owe my career to him. Wow. He looks at me, he says, you smart ass. He's such a nice guy. But oh my God, it's so funny. I mean, you just never know. You just have to keep trying. People don't know these guys' stories. How many actors were living out of a car and then their life was changed overnight?
Well, I mean, it's just like who was it? Wasn't it like Jackie Earl Haley was like roommates with like Mark Hamill or something, and then he told him to go, hey, there's this audition, you should go try out, and then boom, he became Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, because I was working at the Utah Shakespeare Festival, and he was in the cast, but that's when he quit. He had to quit because he says, I just got Star Wars or whatever. I don't know if I should. And the founder, Fred Adams, said, kid, take that right now. Don't turn it down. And Fred was always right. He said, don't do it. Go. More money. Go for it. You never know. And it did. It became a big, huge hit. And
yeah.
I think that's what made his Mark Hamill. Such his performance so good because he was an original theatrical actor. This is one of the creepiest. Oh, this gave me nightmares.
Oh, the part with the board.
This board, yeah.
Yeah, just the way like it just totally just comes out of nowhere. And then I like the whole like that it just the way it changes, you know, like she first sees it, it says one thing, but then when she puts the fire out, it's like back to what it, you know.
Yeah.
Now the ultimate would have been, because you know how, I mean, spoiler alert, the Carpenter does away with the babysitter. Like it would have been the ultimate, but I mean it's the 80s too. They probably wouldn't have been able to get away with it where if they would have taken out the kid.
Yeah, that's what I thought was
been
interesting in Halloween 2018, where he's killed the first killer, and then in Halloween, and he looks at the baby and then goes on. But it's like we're like,
yeah,
okay.
I was like, oh no, man, really? They're gonna do this? And then he just walks off. I'm like, okay.
I remember I was sitting in my theater seat, and I'm like, don't do it.
Well, he had already taken out that other kid, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, oh man, nobody's safe in this movie. And then that's why you get to that scene and it's just like, oh man. I don't know how this is gonna turn out. And then he just walks off. It's like, all right. Okay, there's some like, you know, rules here that they don't want to break. There's certain groups they don't want to.
That's what I found out in The Shining. I thought it was interesting how he directed tormented Shelley Duvall, but he protected the boy. The boy, he said, hey, I saw him in Fan X one year. He never knew it was a horror movie until he saw it when he was an adult. And he said when they did the scene between him and the girls, they were not there. And he said, just imagine this big pit bulls growling at you. That's how he got his reaction out of it. He protected him, never knew that he was. Then he turned around and he tormented Shelley Duvall.
Yeah, I mean, even it's interesting the dynamic. Hey, Brian, how's it going, man? Thanks for stopping by.
Welcome. Thank you for coming in.
The other thing in regards to Danny Lloyd is I met him too, and it's interesting hearing that they protected him a lot and stuff like that. He actually told me that Jack would take him and his family out to eat a lot, and I was like, really? Because that's one of the things. Jack Nicholson is one of my favorite actors of all time. I mean, he's like tops up there alongside John Cusack. You know, it's just, I don't know. And then The Shining, going back to The Shining, it's one of those movies that has one of my favorite scenes in film of all time, and it's that whole scene, that long scene where he finally, like, Shelley Duvall sees the papers, and he just goes, and he just like goes, you know.
Even they said the scene was what she was carrying the boy or something. She had the bat. That was a dummy. He didn't want the kid involved in that scene. And I remember the one time I met him, he was so gracious and so kind, and my mother loved him. She had a huge crush on him. Her favorite movie of his was As Good as It Gets, which, I mean, it was brilliant. That he deserved the Academy Award for that film. And a guy with obsessive compulsive disorder, he was so brilliant. And one of the nicest guys and so funny. Oh my gosh. And I cannot believe what was the movie he made on the motorcycles? I can't believe I haven't seen that. I gotta watch that. I can't, that's one of his iconic roles.
Which one?
Yeah, the one that's with Jack Nicholson. There's one he was Peter Fonda and him. They were.
Oh, oh man, God! I was thinking about this one not too long ago because somebody was talking about it. I'd have to look it up.
Those tells the waitress, you squeeze her something between your knees is one of the famous lines.
That's to Turkey Burgers question. I don't know how much fog juice they used. I will say this: a lot of the fog shots they shot it's in reverse.
Reverse, yeah.
And then there's some composite shots like when you see like it glowing and stuff, obviously, and going over the water. But there's also Carpenter says that was like the hardest thing to do, was trying to like
Mhm.
get the fog, working properly for the scene, because it's like they would roll the fog in, and then like if there was a gust of wind, it would just mess everything up.
Yeah.
So he said that was the hardest part of this movie,
Mhm.
was trying to like create the fog practically.
Yeah. This scene is another one that's so terrifying. Oh my gosh, so well, the contrast between the two. Oh, I could never be around a dead body if I said, well, oh yeah, after this movie. So
And
they're
then
gonna
just
come back.
like, and then it's just like the writing they carved into the floor.
Yeah. Ooh. Mm,
Easy Rider.
Easy Rider. That was the other one. The other film that she did. It wasn't Carpenter, but that I loved her in was Promenade. It was so different and so mature, but she just that ending. I still remember we did a watch party last Halloween. After we were done, I sat there and cried for like 20 minutes. It just got to me. I'd forgotten how good, and Leslie Nielsen, this one horror film. I was like, well, besides Dracula didn't love it, which was brilliant.
Well, he also did Repossessed, but I
Oh,
mean,
that's right.
it's more of a
Comedy, yeah.
yeah, it's more of a comedy. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, yeah,
She,
Easy
oh,
Rider.
when she realized, but yeah, when she realized who the killer was, oh, man, she was so brilliant. She was a good actress from the very beginning.
Now, do you
Yeah.
do you feel it's weird that they like the second one was so like different from the first one?
Yeah. I haven't seen the second one. I've got it. Yeah, I
You haven't
gotta
seen the
see
second
that.
one? Second one's
Yeah,
good.
I know they said the fact that it was much more kills and it was a little more believable. You didn't wait so long, and that she was really good at it. The actress, I have to see it. Yeah, because I heard it was good.
Yeah, it's definitely a good one. It's fun. It's a fun one for sure. But it's
What's the
different.
one? Yeah,
It's different from
like,
the first one.
what was the one I like? I know I still my husband's so mad at me because I've not seen except for the first two Friday the 13th. That's it. He's a huge fan of the whole series. But he said, at least watch the first four with me. I said, okay. Like Knight said, just watch the first four. Then decide we want to go on. But those four are just so iconic. And I missed the third one. I mean, and I actually didn't want to see it because back then you couldn't do 3D on television. So I was, oh, I'll wait, because I missed seeing it. But when they did a remake it only was out for like not even, I think it was only 3 months or something. It was put out on 3D the DVD. I saw it at a friend's house, and that was actually better than the movie theaters. It was easier on the eye because it was smaller, and plus it's the gray, not the red and blue. I remember watching Jaws 3D in red and blue. It was a great movie. Then was riding home, and I'm like, oh, I got a headache. Oh, my eyes are. And those probably back then you had to be in the center, or it's that sweet spot, or it didn't work. And
Yeah,
now,
don't hate me, Marty, but I always say I call them ghost pirates. I've always called them that for, just because I don't know, this ghost pirate
yeah,
sounds cool. But yeah, you're right. They are basically sailors from a leper
leper,
colony.
yeah, they were treated. It's like the themes, like the new one, "It's a Wonderful Life." They were wronged and they can't rest until they get that revenge. Their deaths because they just needing help and they betrayed them.
Hmm.
And in reality, we found out later that leprosy is curable, and it's not this. But back then, they just thought it. They didn't know anything about medical science. They thought it was this, you know, like mumps or or I can't say that. That's what's funny. You can't say anything about the event of the past 2 years. I can't believe that. But yeah, it's just they didn't know back then. So it's like they were scared. But yeah, I agree with you.
See,
It's really
see,
sad.
yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah, they were cheated by the town for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just think that I don't know. I just call them ghost pirates because I think it sounds cool. But that's just me.
I love
Yeah,
the way they were. I love the way they were done. The makeup and all that was great.
yeah, and
So those were stunt guys. Those are stunt guys, and they were great.
yeah,
Did a
what's
great job.
Rob Bottin again from before he did the thing. In fact, he's the main. He's Captain Blake. He's the main sailor.
At night, that's what it looks like over Utah Lake. I'm telling you guys, it's creepy. I've seen it that way in San Francisco too.
And stay on the phone. If only, or what part are you on?
I'm on where she's talking and Weatherman's driving.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm on the part.
Oh.
I'm at the part where he's like, where she's trying to. I don't know how it got ahead, but I'm at the part where she's trying to tell the weatherman to like, no, like stay on the phone.
Oh, okay.
Don't open
That's
the door.
interesting. I've done that on Tubi. We're all of a sudden I'm ahead of everybody else. I'm like, how is that possible?
Because I mean, I'm watching it on Blu-ray, so I'm not
That
too
might
sure.
be one. Yeah, mine's iTunes, so it's sometimes because there's that slight. Yeah, I do 5. It's like 5 to 8 seconds. It loads up and then it shows it.
But yeah, it's like I find it interesting. Like, if only this guy would have stayed home.
Yes.
Technically, he wasn't supposed to work that night. He would have been fine. But he wasn't thinking with this head.
Yep, he wasn't. Not at all. See that right there? That's completely, that would never show up. Even today's radars would not. You wouldn't see that. And here she's just this hangout. That's what's so fun, great about it.
Years ago. Man. Nobody's listening. They're all chilling at the town square.
Yeah.
But yeah, somebody said it earlier where they were like, can't can't do this anymore. Where only Carpenter could bring these people, people like this all together and stuff. I know Tarantino is kind of like that now. He's he's a more modern person that does it, but I feel like, I mean, aside from like we were talking about with some of the old school, like the Hammer films where they brought a bunch of awesome people together, Carpenter did it first, man. I feel.
Yeah, to me, I say what it is. To me, it's like if you're going to do a remake, and there's been some great remakes, don't try to capture. Just do your own thing, and sometimes it really turns out well. Like they did Invisible Man, but is a different story, modernized, and it was great. And it turned out that way. And this is just kills me. This whole scene. Oh, dude. I remember in the theater, don't open the door. Everybody in the theater, don't open the door.
Yeah, I told you if this guy would have just stayed home and not gone, and like if he would have just like stayed home like he was supposed to, he would still be alive.
Those are the rules. That's why I said all of them, Kevin Lee, all these are influenced. They influenced him. That's the thing I loved about the OG Scream is because it just had that and it just he captured all that once in a fire thing, all these homages and all that, and even West admitted he can't repeat that.
Mhm. Now here's a question for you, because there's a movie. Have you ever seen Dead and Buried?
No, I haven't. It's another one I gotta watch. Oh my gosh.
Very much has a feeling like this, not ghost story
Mm-hmm.
really, but it's like the look of it. It's almost
Mm-hmm.
like somebody described it as if George Romero and Stephen King got with John Carpenter to make a movie.
Yeah.
It's very much like it almost looks like
Mm-hmm.
all three of them made
Yeah.
that movie, but they didn't, obviously. Though one of the writers was Dan O'Bannon, so the guy that
Oh.
wrote Alien. Like after
Mm-hmm.
Alien, he did this. He did Dead and Buried, and
Yeah.
Dead and Buried has a young Robert Englund in it too.
Oh wow.
Before he's Freddy. So,
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
and it also has Grandpa Joe from Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That's why I remember when I hadn't seen it so long this last Halloween when I did Magic, I had forgotten that Anne Margaret was in it. And she was actually creepier than Michael. I mean, Anthony Hopkins was great, but she was equally creepy. So different for her a role, and she matched him really good.
Or it's just like what was her name? Oh man, I can't believe I forgot her name. Pamela Voorhees from the first
Yes,
from
that's
the
the one
first.
I struggle, and that's something when I was younger, where I thought that's so brilliant the way they did it. But then and I found out they weren't supposed to, they snuck behind the director and they came up with the second one of that, but they went ahead and did it because they didn't want it really ruined. But I thought if all this time she was there, he was there, and obviously the second one, when she died, he came and picked up her head. I thought, why didn't he just come to her? Why didn't you just do the two together? It was like almost a waste of time. I think that's why it kind of bothered me. I've learned to love the second one more now, but it just, but it's just interesting thing. I go, why did you do that? What was the point? I said I almost would have, but it's a good movie on its own. It's really spooky, and I love the
Yep.
fact that when they killed the guy I don't want to spoil, in the wheelchair, they showed him up front, and then when you saw, but then when the machete was in his head, it already was in and showed the back shot, because that was actually more scarier than actually showing that, because it was um, you saw this clip and boom, a great back shot of him going backwards. And I just remember the only time I jumped in the third one was when I saw it in 3D. Was that snake? I hate snakes. I'm like, ah. Oh,
My
I
favorite
saw. Yeah,
my
go ahead.
favorite gag is the harpoon or whatever that they shoot at the girl's eye.
I will never forget. I saw the first of the new It in IMAX 3D. Oh, when he popped out of that screen, I nearly jumped out of my skin. I was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah,
IMAX 3D.
the first one was good. The second one was kind of, I don't know. I was a little
Yeah,
disappointed with the second one.
at that beginning, kind of with it, because it was the loyal to the novel, but I'd forgotten about the gay couple. That hit too close to home. That was eerie. That's lifted directly from the novel, exactly. And oh, that was like, okay, this hits a little too close to home.
I
Forgot
just
about
feel
that.
I just feel for the second one, like I didn't like. I still thought the kids were great in that. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like the adults, I don't know, it felt kind of off. And then the
Yeah,
CG was like, I don't know, it's like it felt rushed or
I
something.
preferred the second of both of them. The original, the miniseries was better. Both of them together. Yeah, this one was weak. Yeah. Plus, it was almost like they were trying to outdo, because everybody didn't like the original miniseries, the ending. But I think that was better than the ending of this one. This was kind of dumb. You know. And now this is spooky. Oh, jeez. Like nothing happened. It just is gone.
Hmm. So where are you at right now?
And what's both of them are at the lighthouse now. And the frog's coming to the babysitter now as well. At the same time.
Oh man.
Now this one. Oh.
And you get the knocking again.
That music. Oh, John, you're brilliant. That thing. It's like, that's got to be, is that a triangle or it might be synthesized, but that's creepy.
I want you to go to your room.
I hate circular staircases. I have so many nightmares with them. It's collapsing while I'm trying to go down and the place is on fire.
Go to your room.
Ooh. Oh.
Yeah, it's. I feel bad for the old lady.
Yeah. Oh.
At the same time, the kid's kind of annoying here. So
Yeah.
part of me is like, okay, take the kid, leave the old lady.
Yeah.
And even then, like you see, we're at that. I mean, I don't know if you just hit for you where they grab her and then you just see like.
This is like the scene with the old couple in Halloween Kills. That about ripped me apart.
Yeah, that was rough.
That was Michael right in his. I have the extended cut. He keeps it in longer. I was like, oh. But people say, why didn't she run? I go, she just was petrified. I would be too if I saw that in front of me. He just had this knack about him that you couldn't move. He was so terrifying. Michael, it's like, I can see it why.
I mean, he's just so big and imposing.
Mm-hmm. When I met James Jude Courtney, I'm like, whoa, yeah. Oh.
But he's super nice.
He is. Ooh.
And I like this scene where like just see that hook come through, and it's just like pulling the boards off to get the kid.
Oh, this is why I was on the movie theater. Ooh, still gets me. The sounds. Mm.
Yeah.
When I was watching Magic, I was like, how simple it was. When he was out trying to bury the body and drown the body of Burgess Meredith. And I forgot they'd show the one long shot of the dummy on the window. And he was like, and I'm like, oh, it made me jump. I'm like, stop it. I did it 3 times. I go, stop. Ooh, this is creepy. Oh, they just knew how to do it. They just knew how to twist that blade at the right time.
I like this part too.
Yeah. I still can't get over the ending to the original Black Christmas. I still can't get over that.
Yeah, the thing with
that still haunts me today.
The thing with Black Christmas, like I hadn't actually I had never seen it before. So like this past Christmas, Sean used to be Sean Blue Digital. He was doing a watch party of it, so I was like, okay, let me check it out, you know. And it just leaves you uneasy, man. Like and that's for me, that's like, man, that's good. That's how I know it's a good movie. Because
this was almost like this is like him almost getting Jamie Lee Curtis, and she gets out just in time on Halloween. Oh, her voice, desperation. Yeah, you always get stuck in the mud, or you can't. Yeah,
and then you just see him slowly like coming.
Murphy doesn't like us. Yeah, this is creepy. Great shot. Like the shot in Halloween 2 when he comes out of nowhere behind the nurse. Ooh.
Oh, where like picks her up and with the syringe.
Well, no, he was in the office, just talking to the doctor, and he was already dead. Ah, this still gets to me. Oh. Just in the nick of time. Ah.
No,
go ahead. I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, a funny story about funny story about when I met Adrienne Barbeau this last time. She had her NECA figure on the table, and I was in line. This guy behind me, he was telling his wife, was like, oh, she's got that figure. And I started telling him, oh yeah, it's a great figure. I ordered it for Scream Factory. It's like a limited edition, whatever. And like after through the whole conversation, I was saying, well, if you really think about it, what she's charging for the figure, it also comes with a signature. You're actually getting a really good deal because now you can only get that figure like aftermarket. And then and then after that, I'm like, I turned around, and then like I turn around again. He's like, he tells his wife, I need to get that figure. And then I went up to her and I said, when I talked to her, I was like, hey, you're welcome. And I pointed at the figure and I was like, no, I just sold the figure for you. And she started laughing.
Oh,
But yeah, she liked the print. I showed it in one of my videos, and it's basically of the fog. They did like a special artwork with the screen for the steel book and stuff, but they actually did like a poster for it and got her to sign that. John Carpenter, Tom Atkins, Nancy Loomis, and Charles Cipher. So yeah, that's one of my favorite.
They had a one. Oh, sorry, yeah, that's great. One of my favorite moments was just before she died. They had it but was it Texas? Yeah, it was in Texas. I can't remember where it was, but they just had them before she died. I got to meet um, Tippi Hedren and Janet Leigh together. It's one of my treasured photos of the two of them. In between the two of them, I go, these legendary actresses. And this right here is so creepy. The fog and just that ding ding. That's why in Halloween 2018, this is why I've heard that beating. Yes, and now I remember that beating music when he killed her one friend. Oh, it's following them. Oh.
Now,
turn around.
I'm almost curious, is it going after them per se, or is it going for the priest?
Priest, I always wondered that.
Because
I think that's where they're going to, because he's the last. Yeah. She was the fourth, wasn't she? It was 5, wasn't it?
6.
6, it's like the battleship. Weatherman. Heart of the old lady. Well, there was 2 on the boat, so that So like he's the 5th one, yeah. So that'd be a logical place, yeah. They're going for him. This is the only time they're in a scene together, but they don't talk. That's another story with people thought of the birds. I said, you rewatch that and you watch the nonverbal communication between Tippi Hedren and Jessica Tandy. That's brilliant acting. The relationship they developed in that movie. And then that scene where she sees her friend and she can't scream. She can't scream. She's so shocked. Jessica Tandy was such a brilliant actress. And, oh, that music. So brilliant.
Yeah, I was actually surprised I was able to I got the soundtrack on vinyl. Or the score. The score, I have it on vinyl. And have you ever heard of Waxwork Records?
No, I haven't.
No, they do a bunch of like they'll do vinyls for like movie scores and stuff like that. So they've done all the, I think they've done up to part 8 of all the Friday the 13th films.
Really?
They did Halloween 2018, Kills and Ends. They did The Prowler. They just repressed before the new year, Dawn of the Dead. And they've done Night and Day as well. So they've done a lot of good stuff. And they pressed Bride of Frankenstein. I have that one as well. And so they have this. They did this one of The Fog, and I mean, They also did The Thing as well.
As we watching,
I got a lot of good stuff. Yeah, just
months ago, was it?
hearing this on
Oh,
vinyl
wow.
is just like,
Was the original the original Mary Poppins? I forgot Elsa Lanchester was one of the maids of the Bride of Frankenstein. I forgot she was in. I watched that the other day. She was so young. The beginning of the Bride of Frankenstein. Oh man. I actually loved Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, but the only one thing I didn't like about it, just the ending, the way they did the bride scene, it was just so turned so bad so quickly. And I thought, oh, Kenneth, what are you doing? The whole movie was so good, but he just kind of rushed it. It was just so. It just was corny. It's not like the original that was still so devastating.
the one I need to see that I haven't seen is the one with Sting. Was it Frankenstein on
The Bride?
Is it The Bride? Is that what it's called?
Might be. I think it is.
Or is it Frankenstein Unbound? I don't know why that's. I don't know. I can't remember.
I'm looking forward to this. The next month, the one with the female Frankenstein, and that's interesting. I'll see what that's Universal. I'll see what they do with it. And
oh man, they got Nancy Loomis.
I could see where Carpenter took some stuff like from the Corman's, the zombie films, for some of that scene with them coming through the windows, and that's so creepy.
Even the part where Stevie Wayne's outside and she's trying to escape. I mean, just the slow build up to that, you know.
There we go. Oh, that music. It's like people don't believe me when I say if Shakespeare alive today, he'd be writing sitcoms and horror movies. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I don't want to spoil it, but if you haven't seen Thanksgiving, when you get to that ending, that is so Titus Andronicus. It was Shakespeare's first tragedy, his only commercially successful play, and it is just the same thing there. He does the same thing. Cannibalism, all this, it's the same premise. And that was back in Shakespeare's day, and it was called The Revenge Tragedy, and it was so commercially successful. So audiences not changed that much. They haven't. It's still Eli Roth or Eli did a really good job with that movie.
Yeah, I was very, very surprised. I saw the trailer for it, and I was like, "Oh, this looks interesting." And I told my buddy Joe, I was like, "Hey, man, I'll be in your area. Do you want to maybe go catch it?" I went to go see it, and like I was like, "Wow, this is really good, man." I mean,
I'm one of those where I suspected after the second killing who it was, but wasn't sure. But when I hit the parade, I'm like, "Yep, the parade." I thought, yeah, but I think I see where he's going with the sequel. I think there is a second one, or he might have survived. So I'm looking forward to the second one, see what he does with it.
Yeah, me too.
But I love too what was the one that I went and rewatched because I said I was so much younger, and I rewatched Hostel, and I realized that wait a minute, I go, the violence in Thanksgiving was worse. And I looked at this and I went, that's what it was. It wasn't that. It was the torture aspect of it. The way the actor was so good. The kid was crying and said, "Why are you doing this to me? Let me go." That's what made me sick to my stomach. It wasn't the gore. It was just that torture porn. It was so hard to watch these people beg. I don't like torture porn. But that's what I love about Saw. At least some of the movies was it went further than that. You've got this brilliant actor that's playing a person that no, you're not right. This is the creepiest scene, but he's not doing right, but you still feel something. I think it's so weird the way it was written, and where you can do that. Now, this is so creepy.
Yeah, I never got into I saw up to Saw 3, and then I was like, okay, well, and I think it's run its course for me anyway. But I want to see Saw X because everybody tells me it kind of goes back to.
It
I mean,
goes
it's taking
between
place.
1 and 2. Yeah, what happened? Yeah. Yeah, the only thing I rated out of the whole series 4 was the ending to Jigsaw, and where you do all of these great practical effects, and the last kill you do CGI. It looked so bad. It was so unlike every other film. Like it looked like something out of, yeah. It's like that's bad. Oh, I forgot. Oh, masterclass in acting, cinematography, staging, editing, everything. Ooh.
And just like that. It's like nothing. Yeah, it's like nothing. Like nothing happened. Now, what's interesting is like, well, are you at the scene where it's
Yeah.
already? So what's
There we
interesting
go.
is like,
Explosion happened. Yeah. Yeah.
well, what's interesting that's coming up like once like because I'm a little bit ahead of you, so it's like
Yeah.
I'll tell you, there's a part where the fog goes away from Stevie Wayne, but you still see something in her hand, you know.
Yes.
So it's interesting, like so the hook remained,
Hmm.
the little,
Yeah.
which I thought was kind of interesting, you know. I mean, I know
Yeah.
she
It
had it in her
is.
hand, but it didn't just like evaporate. You know what I mean? Like
Evaporate.
everything
Yeah.
else.
I wonder if that's because she tore it from his body. That's all. That's interesting. Hmm. So yeah, it's like it never happened.
Yeah. And I still get a kick every time I see this movie. It's like
Yeah.
it's just so good. They don't make them like this anymore.
Hmm. It's like It's a Wonderful Life gets a lot of crap, and I thought I don't know what it is. I usually don't, but for some strange reason, I think it was the two female leads. I don't know, but it just hit me emotionally, and I don't get that connected sometimes. I don't know what it was. I guess it was the two actresses or something, their performances, but I know it's corny, and I love the watch party that Stephen had with the director because he explained. I said, why didn't they do some scene saying how did he hold the people? They couldn't. That was the end was kind of dumb, but I remember he said they had to because it just didn't make sense. But I realized she does explain it. I thought it was had to do with the Northern Lights. It was just and it's a true legend that all the spirits of people that died were, including him when he took their lives, that they were holding them. That's what the whole town is. Until we get justice, you're like our prisoners. And then yeah, and so in the end, once you see the scene that they cut was when he dies, when he gets stabbed, the light goes out in his eyes, and when that they've been appeased. That's when everybody's. It wasn't him. It was the Northern Lights that was holding the whole town, including him, because until you people appease us, we're not going to let you go. And so now that makes more sense. I love this ending speech.
Not only that, but when he's like, "Why not me? Why not me?" Oh man, here we go. Boom.
Darkness, fog. Oh, that speech. Here we go. Yeah, here's a few seconds. Oh, yeah. I think this beats Carrie. Didn't see this coming.
Flowers. Oh.
Brilliant.
They already do the.
We haven't yet. It's just happening. The fog's is cooling in. There we go. There they are. Bravo. It's the fog, ladies and gentlemen.
It's a good one, man. It's a great one. What's interesting, I didn't realize this. One of the when I was looking at the credits right now, Buck Flowers, he plays Tommy Wallace.
Oh.
And Tommy Lee Wallace is one of the ghosts. One of Blake's men.
Gosh. That's
awesome. It's like we were talking about, like Nick Castle, is the main character, and Nick Castle was the Shape before, and so yeah, just Carpenter does that stuff, man. That's awesome.
It's so amazing. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed it. Thank you for watching in on the replay. Hope you enjoyed it, and share it with your friends. And it's a great film. And I'll announce soon when we have the next one. It'll probably not be soon here, but I'll meet you backstage, Larry, for a minute. But thanks to everybody that came. Thank you for coming. It was awesome. And also, you guys can get to bed if you're going to work. But thank you guys so much for coming in.
Thanks a lot, guys.
So much. I appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the like button if you haven't. And I said that everything done. Yeah. Well, just remember, until next time, please remember that you are enough. You are more than enough. It is amazing how enough you really are. And don't ever forget that you are of infinite worth. This world needs you in it. And don't ever forget it. And please don't forget, don't let the foolishness out there steal your bliss. Until next time, this is Jason the Nice One. We'll talk with you soon. Peace.